Did you show me that microphone before?
I've been had this.
Yeah.
We've seen this before.
Oh.
Now I need to know if we can be seen because it says we're live. Let me go check the stream, Bubs. Can you see the YouTube stream? Are we live? Is this bitch recording?
We live.
We live. Check the stream, Bubs. Can you see the YouTube stream? Shit. I think I hear myself. Is this bitch recording?
He is live, y'all.
Hold on. Somebody's audio is playing somewhere. Like I can hear whoever got a second device on. Turn it off.
Not me.
Hold on. Somebody's audio is playing somewhere. Like I can hear something is off. Something is off somewhere.
Somebody said headphones.
Hey,
I got something plugged up somewhere.
It's not on your end, Davion?
I can hear a bunch of feedback. I don't know why I hear this feedback.
It's good. It's good. So it just takes a little bit.
Yeah, that must have been
Yeah, that was his mic. That wasn't mine.
But what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Y'all
doing all right? I hope y'all enjoying y'all evening. As you can tell, like I said in the comments, I brought the raw cones. So I'm kind of feeling it. So I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling good. I don't know where Davion went. But I guess I'll kind of just step in a little bit. This is Davion's one of his best friends and tattoo artist, Spirit. Why don't you say hello to the people, Spirit?
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everybody is doing well. I can't see any of your comments if there are comments. Yeah, I see Davion just left, but that's actually how me and Davion met. Is I tattooed him so many years back, and he's always had me on his talk shows to have the opinion of a heterosexual black male and whatnot, to see what my opinions of whatever topic is. So definitely happy to be here. I hope you guys forgive me. I actually have some friends over today. Hey, and they may or may not chime in. So
I will.
Okay, yeah, they will chime in. Hey, Davion is back.
Yeah.
Say something, Davion.
Yes.
Hello.
All right.
Gosh, this is all y'all's fault. Never again. Never again. Never.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I'm a guest. I'm a guest here.
I can't see the second stream though, so let me see something real quick. Let me make sure all my technicalities are good. I had another window opened up. That's why I was hearing feedback.
Yeah.
I look blurrier than a motherfucker. Jesus.
You look fine.
Okay.
You look like your ass about to levitate, bitch.
I'm about to levitate my ass up off this damn live if I can't get my focus on. That's what's about to happen. Hey, everybody. Hello, chat. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me just fine? Can you guys? Can you guys hear me? Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, he's not.
Am I being heard?
Yeah. Everybody saying
I'm heard.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
I don't understand.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're welcome.
This is the Whisper Challenge.
Oh no.
You welcome.
How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you.
I'm giving you TS Mystic. Okay. So you guys have already been introduced.
Yeah.
So you guys already know this is BUBZDAGAWD. This is my queer brother from another mother. He's feeling himself because his barber pulled his hairline down a little bit further on his forehead. So that confidence is through the goddamn roof.
Hell yeah, my granddaddy shit ain't kicking in at all. Yeah.
Baby. Okay. Spirit, rotate the camera. There he goes. Okay. this is the guy here. He's an amazing individual. He's done all of my ink work, and he's amazing. And he's the heterosexual contrast to all of this rainbowness here on the screen before you. Now, tonight, you guys already know what we're going to be talking about. Now, we're going to get into some heavy, heavy shit, okay? I know that y'all used to being taught by Google, and GED finals were difficult for some of you, but today, baby, you're gonna have to get your we need diplomas in the building, okay? Because your brain ain't gonna be able to survive the complexity of this conversation unless your diploma is in hand, okay? Okay.
Oh my God.
So,
I got you if you did some with the right.
Ooh, that shit was hilarious. Oh my God.
now, see, I just need to blank my screen because Spirit is going to be distracting me from visually. He's going to be distracting me and throwing me off course in my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, I'm over here crying. Oh.
No. I'm sorry that I have.
This nigga said GED finals.
I'm actually having a.
Oh shit!
Glad that I have fun.
I needed that. Thank you. Thank you.
It was my homegirl that reminded me
I
about
tell
the
you,
time.
I love Davion. That nigga is crazy.
I was sitting there playing the game. Like, Tuesday. Countdown.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
God.
I don't like vegetables. I got no fresh vegetables. I like broccoli.
Oh. Jesus, I'm gonna need you to help me through this live, Lord.
Yeah, that's what they do at the
Because I
bottom.
don't know what to do with God.
Ghetto ass.
Oh.
Okay.
Send your anointing.
Ghetto ass shit.
Send it on down, Lord.
Lord.
It's just
Because Davion, I ain't gonna be able to make it with this nigga on this live. I ain't. Ooh, and I'm high as hell too. Jesus, it's about to be some transformational ass shit popping off. Ooh, Lord.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys
We waiting on
focused?
you? Yes.
Yeah, we're waiting on you, bro.
Okay. So we can see the chat, everyone. We're going to open up the lines, maybe. Okay. Okay. We're going to open up the lines, okay? At the end of the broadcast, okay? Okay. So first topic I want to start off with is Henry. Henry. Is him there? Is him there?
I'm here. Got you. Yeah, the first topic is.
Stay in facial recognition position.
Okay.
Okay. So first thing we need to do tonight is we need to cover Lil Boosie Bad Bottom's clap back. Okay? His clap back to Dwayne Wade. Okay, are you guys familiar with what's going on?
Yes.
I didn't hear the whole clapback.
Okay, are you aware of the controversy surrounding
Yes.
Dwayne Wade? Okay, so just to cut you guys up to speed in the comment section, okay? Let's get for real. Now, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union, she is a self-professed rim jobber. She enjoys rim jobbing her husband. Okay, very progressive Black family. Very progressive Black family. Can learn many things from such a progressive Black family, okay? They're raising a young boy who is transitioning into a young lady. How old is he, Bubs? How old is the young lady?
12.
12 years of age. Okay. Okay, 12 years of age. Now, these things have been making headlines and headways, creating mass controversy. We know that particularly the Black community has been triggered up. These hoes the Black community is deeply traumatized. We don't have much to hold on to at this point as a community other than our sexuality, and it seems to be being stripped and ripped right from out of our anuses, okay? So we're struggling to maintain our Black integrity by way of heteronormativeness, okay? And boys remaining boys and girls remaining girls, because what would be left of Black people once we forget how we are to use our natural biological hearts, right? Because the Hotep niggas are deeply invested in us maintaining usage over our penises as young men and our vaginas as young women, right? Polite, young Pharaoh, Dr. Umar, your favorite. Yes. Go back to Africa, David James. Absolutely. Okay. Now, I want to know, what do you guys first and foremost think of Little Boosie's outrage? He immediately felt that these people were going to have their 11-year-old go through gender reassignment surgery. Now, mind you, no one has mentioned gender reassignment surgery, okay? Nobody. That's never been a conversation. Gabrielle and Wade are only allowing, is it Zaya? Okay, you know, something about having this microphone here makes me feel like an imported African. Can you hear my Wakanda accent? It's something about my nativeness is just summoning forth. I can feel the goddess.
I just want to say it's kind of
deeply melanated tonight.
No, but I'm saying you do, and it's kind of giving me a mix of.
Cleo.
Y'all ever seen Mulan? Remember the old Chinese lady who they had to go through before they can get married? Ooh. That mixed with Rafiki from Lion King. I'm just getting that vibe. I just feel it. It feels amazing. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. I feel like this microphone is about to is about to have me transition. So let me put her down because something is happening.
Oh shit.
Can you guys still hear me? See? Conscious is coming back. I feel like conscious now. Do I sound like conscious?
Yes.
Okay, let me swallow real quick.
Who was that hoe?
I don't know.
Woo, shit.
Microphones have spirits.
Yep.
Something jumped in and then jumped out. Okay. So Little Boosie badass, bad bottom is upset. And how do y'all feel about his clapback? Henry, you saw the clapback, Spirit. As a heterosexual man, did you understand his outrage? Because you do have a little girl who you're raising. Did you identify with the fear of what it means to have a transgender child? Because that's what Lil Boosie's clapback seemed to be, fear. It immediately jumped to the extreme of, oh my God.
I don't know if I would say it was fear. It seemed like he was like, I would say sad, you know. It sounded like a lot of sadness for me. Definitely like, you know, we're in a new age. It's a new day, you know. How old is Boosie? Like,
he got to be in his 40s.
He's 40. He's in his 40s, right? Yeah, I mean,
he's old enough to not be the average height of.
If he look 40, what the fuck 90 look like? Damn.
Okay, Henry froze. You're back, Henry.
Okay.
Can you ask the spirit of cannabis to speed up your dialect? Because you seem to be really present. I didn't want you to be this present and one with the conversation.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying that like we're not. This is new stuff, you know, for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't have the emotional language to kind of deal with the things that they're seeing. You know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's okay for them to do it, the white people, but once it starts hitting, you know, the community, then it's just like, whoa, what's this? What is this? You know what I mean? This is you know, newfangled shit. That's, I mean, and I guess, I mean, if you're talking about fear from the point of the very, very, you know, very, very boiled down everything, you know, the basis of everything is either happiness or fear. Then yeah, I could definitely see that, you know.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Okay, fear. Okay. BUBZDAGAWD, how did you feel about Lil Boosie's Outrage?
I mean, now that Spirit brought it to my attention, I can kind of somewhat acknowledge the possibility of fear there. But in the beginning, of course, I didn't feel there was fear. I just felt it was very ignorant what he was saying. Of course, it was coming from a very hyper masculine type of state. And then, like I said, I already did a video on it, but kind of share the same sentiments from the video. It's crazy to see Dwayne Wade, who was part of the NBA, which is part of this very masculine or hyper masculine type of culture, right? And then the fact that this man who's a part of this hyper masculine, you know, organization has a trans daughter and is actually accepting and willing to learn and to try to understand. There may be some things that, you know, he may not agree with, but he's still willing to work through it to be able to understand his trans daughter, because at the end of the day, that's his child. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to offer your child unconditional love. But of course, coming from a nigga like Boosie Badass Bottom, like you said, a lot of niggas who represent individuals, and I'm not saying this to be shady or to make anybody feel some type of way, but I mean, it is a statistic. A lot of them are still hurt because they didn't have fathers. And it's like, wow, here's this man who's willing to accept his trans daughter, but here I am, a heterosexual black man, and my father is nowhere to be fucking found. That makes me feel some type of way. So I don't know if that's an insecurity within himself in which he responded that way. But at the same time, it's kind of like you can still share your opinions, but a lot of people take those opinions very seriously. A lot of people in the community have been hurt or worse, lost their lives over opinions like that. You know what I mean? Especially coming from people like Boosie Badass, who speaks a lot of ignorance. He doesn't really take the time to really think about anything. He just speaks before he thinks, unfortunately. So, you know, that better? Because in my other video, if y'all want to hear me cuss this motherfucker out, y'all might want to check my video out.
Okay, shameless plug. Shameless plug, right. So I found it interesting as well that out of all black men, the black man who was the most outraged is the black man who's responsible for putting out some of the most damaging art in the black community. Your music is littered with rape, violence, thievery, drug dealing, drug culture, misogyny, patriarchy, and this was the most outrage of the black men. I mean, the literal hypocrisy, but that hypocrisy is very fascinating to me because within the black community, it's understood that anything is not as bad as being queer or trans.
That's true.
You can be a pastor. You could be a pastor in this country who comes from a life of crime, come from a life of abuse, come from a life of all these things, and be afforded to lead people religiously and spiritually, being an ex-con.
Well, here's
the black community won't even accept you being gay and spiritual, but you can be an ex-con and a criminal and a delinquent and be valuable to the community. We do not measure people in the black community by our action. You said what?
I'm just grabbing something.
Okay. Did you want to interrupt me, Spirit?
No, I didn't. I'm listening.
So what?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So
I was just gonna say that.
I found that part to be fascinating. Now, I do empathize with the fear because this generation of our parents and grandparents are going to struggle deeply with the paradigm shift happening within our world, right? You have a lot of people who've always been around who lived in a way that made the rest of the world comfortable, which was in the closet, in the dark, in the shadows, who now are parading around the world happy-go-lucky. And out of this comes this notion that there's an agenda, a gay agenda, a forcing of sexuality upon people. But you know, my question to the audience and my question to the Black community is, why was there no straight agenda when the Bible was being used to suppress homosexuality and transgenderism? What do you call that agenda? When you're weaponizing religion, you're weaponizing philosophy and ideas in order to tell people that they shouldn't be what they are, they don't need to be what they are, they're being punished by being kicked out of their homes, being kicked out of their churches, even sometimes being murdered altogether as a result. But what agenda is that? What agenda is that? Because that's the agenda that existed before the gay agenda canceled that agenda. What do we call that agenda? If every time I come out my mouth and say this is who I am, and then you sling a verse at me, what agenda is that? If every time I step into a space and I'm treated differently because of how I present, because of my orientation, or whatever the case may be, what agenda is that? When adoption agencies don't allow me to adopt a child because I identify as same-sex attracted, what agenda is that? When I'm not allowed to donate blood at a blood bank to save somebody's life, what agenda is that? What agenda is that? Because these are all the agendas that were there before the
hey, you can't donate blood? What you mean?
I mean, I think in some states they're changing those laws, but I know in South Carolina here, gay people cannot, you cannot give blood if you are of homosexual persuasion.
Oh, that's fucked. I'm on this.
I'm muting the shit out of Spirit. The shit out of them. Mute.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Damn.
I said, well, I got company. You know what I'm saying? I got friends.
We got business.
But, yeah.
Nigga.
So, no, we were talking. I mean, okay, I'm here.
Yeah, no, you're not here. You're there.
It's fucked up that homosexuals can't give blood. That is awful. Yeah, no, it's bad.
This is the work. This is what I got to down the cross for. This is the attention span I have to give my life for.
Oh, that's fucked up. I'm sorry.
This is who I'm shedding me blood for.
Hey.
Okay.
I apologize to your audience. I apologize to you and to your audience.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, let's piggyback. Now that we agree that Lil Boosie needs to return to prison to serve the remainder of his time riding some big dick Derek's huge penis while looking at a reflection of himself hitting the cowgirl style in reverse. Okay? Now, Dwayne Wade is supporting his trans daughter openly. Some feel that
Okay, yeah.
BUBZDAGAWD energy is doing something to me other than turning me on. It's doing something to me.
Oh, my bad. I'm just over here listening. Go ahead.
So Dwayne Wade is supporting his trans daughter openly. Some people feel like Zaya is too young to be able to make these type of decisions. Now, we have already cleared up that there's been no conversation whatsoever around gender reassignment. So let's just get rid of the chopping of the dicks, the adding of the titties.
That's the thing. That's what he was saying. He was like,
Yeah.
man,
He was said it.
Don't get him cut his dick off. Like, that's not what he's gonna do.
I know, but that's because
But
he
here's the thing. But
he
here's the
didn't,
thing.
he didn't read the comment above that comment that said that never got mentioned.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was listening to the whole thing, and like Dwayne Wade, he was just like, nah. Once he found out what it was, he did research. He was, he really looked into it, and he was like, he brought it to him. He was like, Dad, this is true for me, and.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of those things. It seems like it's one in a million, or it's 1 in 100,000, but whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, but
okay,
this is one of those things. Yeah,
I was expecting you to be a bit more ignorant and resistant to these ideas, so that I could get your ass together in front of 152 people on this live. But you're
well, maybe my company feels a different way. Would you like to ask him?
Put that ass on.
I would like for him to chime in.
Sure.
Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see him, but
that's company.
This is company. Would you like to state your name?
Rick. What up, though?
Rick Company. It's his full government. Rick Company.
Rick.
Hello, Rick. Welcome to the stream. How are you, my man?
Oh, I'm listening. It's an interesting topic.
Yes.
But I'm a father. With your child at a certain age, you don't really feel like they can make that decision to like change their gender, like at 12. So if like if it was like a teenager, like maybe like 16, 17, you like, okay, you're almost adult. This is your decision. When you turn 18, all right, you want to change your gender. That's up to you as your own person. That's what you want to do. But at 12, I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to let them change the gender. But if you want to
do it at home,
yeah, maybe at home or something. But I don't know, like I just couldn't see myself letting my child at 12. That's all I'm trying to put emphasis on.
Yeah.
12 years old.
Yeah.
My daughter turns 12 in March, which is next month. I'm like, yo, at 12, I don't know, man.
So 12 is young?
Yeah, 12 is very young. Yes. Hell yeah, that's young. That's young.
To me.
You just stepped out of elementary school. You still learning yourself, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like you're just learning yourself. I'm not saying stepping away of what somebody trying to do later on in life. Like if this is you, I can't do nothing about it. If this is you, that's what's up. But at 12, as a parent, I just can't let you change your gender like that at 12. It's my consent. I gotta write that off.
Going on TV and talking about this shit.
Yeah. And
So Rick,
Dwayne Wade is a little different though, because I'm talking as just regular male. This guy he's out there. He's on TV. He's on national TV. Like he's one of the new spokespeople out there now, like for TNT or whatever. Like he's sitting next to Shaq and them now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he talks on a regular basis about stuff. You would think that would be something they would talk about on. I haven't heard them talk about it on TV. I watch basketball all the time. You see, I got the Lakers stuff on. Kobe, Gigi. I'm really a huge Laker fan. You would think that D Wade, if you're gonna go all out, you on TV right now. You are on TNT every night now. Like you would think he come out eventually and say, hey, I know y'all heard about, because they'll address stuff like that on ESPN and stuff. They'll address a tweet. They'll address all that stuff. You would think he'd be like, hey, I know y'all heard about this. This is what we stand for, this, that, and third. And you know, they could go on from there. That's what's up. You know, if you gonna do it, go ahead and do it. That's how I feel like. If you gonna go ahead, go all the way with it, be on TNT, and be on when they talk about it, because you talk about your son, the other son, to play basketball. They talk about him. They talk about LeBron's son, Bronny. You know, talk about the other son who changing his gender. Like,
well,
if you support it like that, support it.
A part of the aggravation from the Black community is it feels like Dwayne Wade is overly supporting to the point where it's coming off as exploitive of his trans daughter, because most of the interviews he's doing are focused around Zaya. Most of the publicity is surrounding, but I mean, that would obviously be the case because it's such a dramatic manifestation within a family to have a child experiencing transgenderism. So of course that would make headlines. But my question to you, when you said that you feel like 11 and 12 is too early to transition, so then what time is it for a biological female to be a biological female?
They do start getting periods and stuff around that time, though. And that's not something that he would be going through at any point in time. He'd never go through having a period, ever, you know. And so that's not something that even comes up with.
And even before periods, isn't the biological female a biological female at 2 years old, at 3 years old, as 4, as 5, as 6, as 7, as 8, as 9, as 10, at 11? So when we say, I think it's too young.
About mind too, though. We're talking about a fully mature mind. At 12, it's not that. Like I smoke weed. I wouldn't want my daughter to smoke weed at 12. Her mind's not fully developed. It's not proper. You know what I mean? Like, you 18. Once you 18, 17, 18, all right, that's your decision. We talk about it, and I see, okay, this is what you want to do. You know, that's your decision. At 12.
Can I ask a question real quick? I remember earlier in the conversation when you were explaining how you felt with your opinion, and you had said something along the lines of like, you know, well, if that was the case, if you did it in the house, that would be okay if it's in the house. Do you think it's a problem because it's open? Like, if
brings a lot of
is it okay to have it when it's not being seen, but then
I can protect my child in the house. Once they're out, I can't protect them now. You know what I mean?
So
like, at least I can protect them and show them, you know, okay, if this is what you want to do, you know, they get more comfortable. If they're comfortable with their parent, if they can be comfortable with their parent, and you know, years go by, now you grown, and this is really what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you grown, go ahead, pay for your operation. You do all that when you grown. I'm not about to pay for it. It's not going on my, you know, like,
right. I understand.
It's not going on my health care. Like, what you talking? No.
So what would you? But what if your child came to you and they really felt in their spirit that they were really that, to the point to where it was like, if I can't really learn to live my truth, I'll end up killing myself. Like, how would you deal with that? Could it be like an ultimatum where it's like, okay, well, we can possibly talk about sexual gender reassignment surgery. I mean, if I even said that right, but gender reassignment surgery, we could talk about that later on down the road, but I'll still let you dress the way you want to dress. I'll call you the pronouns that I want to call you, and I will treat you as if though you are my daughter. then when we get older, and I even think, if I'm not mistaken, for individuals who are transitioning, I believe they have to go at least maybe a year, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, at least a year of
With like the hormones and stuff?
No, not hormones. Before they can do it, they have to go through like a I'm trying to find the right word.
Psychological evaluation. What?
Yeah, like a evaluation type of thing. Period. Where over a year, so they know to make sure. Because of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of parents feel like they want to make sure if your child want to make that decision, make sure you really want to do that, because if you do, it's irreversible. So in a sense, I can understand that, and I really appreciate your opinion, because you said something that a lot of Black men, I feel like, would have not said, with the fact of, I can protect my child in the house. And I understand that really like just revealed another layer to the whole situation. As far as parents want to do the best they can to protect their children. They want to protect their children from hell. They want to protect their children from people being, from them possibly losing their lives and all this other type of stuff. But I also feel like it's a fear of not only what people think of my child, but what will people think of me as a parent? Do you think that might play a role in that as well, or do you feel like you would just love your child unconditionally? Like, if your child said they transgender, I'ma love it. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say about me. You can say whatever family members. I don't give a fuck. This is my daughter. I love my daughter. Is that how you still want to be, or like? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying some people might be like that. Some people might disown their child. You know what I mean? But that happens anyway. You know what I mean? Like, that happens regardless. Like, hey, I'm a straight male. I don't fuck with my pops. You know what I mean? Like, it happens.
Okay. Now I want to say something, but y'all gonna have to really follow me, because once again, we have our diploma hats on. Okay. We about to get real complicated a little bit. Okay. Okay. So, oftentimes, especially as adults, we have this conversation around trans children from the perspective of being the adults and being the ones not experiencing transgenderism. And because this is such a new issue, a lot of people haven't really done the research, or haven't really spoken to trans people themselves, or haven't really watched documentaries. Now, because obviously I'm a part of the LGBT community, all these issues kind of intersect with me in one way or the other. So I've been watching documentaries with kids who are experiencing transgenderism at 11 years of age, at 10 years of age, at 9 years old. Something that's interesting to me that you just said, Ryan, is you said that
Rick.
Huh? Oh, is Greg?
Rick.
Oh yeah, Rick and Company. Rick Company. Yes, Rick.
Like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, like Rick and Morty.
Okay, Rick and Morty. Rick. Got it. Rick said that he would be very comfortable allowing his trans daughter to be trans at home amongst him. The issue with that from the perspective of the trans child is the child doesn't want to be trans part-time. It's something that, like, okay, think about it this way.
I would just say, just don't. I wouldn't be all on the TV.
Hold on. Okay, because I want you guys to really follow me here, okay? I want you guys to imagine being 11, right? Now, Rick and Henry are young men. Imagine if all of a sudden your mom and dad told you to put on dresses and then to go out to school, go out into the world, go be a regular child. Obviously, there would be such a heightened emotionalism and a emotional distress in you that it would probably drive you to suicide if you had to bring yourself. Okay, see, what's all this? Because I'm trying to focus. It's too much. I got high in the middle. I got a dancing Negro to the right. Like, I need to focus. Focus.
Why you holding that microphone like this?
But why are you bankhead bouncing as I'm giving a lecture? Okay, I'm getting my I'm doing my Oprah Winfrey thing. Okay. Now, okay, shut up. Let's focus. Okay, so
Let's
right, young men being told to go out in female apparel, and
Who's being told to do that?
your parents are telling Henry and Rick Company to go out into the world in female clothing, right? Imagine that as a young man. Imagine,
I see what you mean.
imagine. Okay, don't see what I'm doing. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. So you're going out into the world in female clothing, right? Just try to imagine in a real scenario in your spiritual third eye, that being something that literally happens to you. Okay? Now, tell me in this moment, now you guys are higher than God right now, okay? So you guys have total access to the 5th, 6th, 4th, and 11th dimension of your minds, okay? So imagine right now that you're a young boy and your parents are telling you to go out in female clothing. Tell me on an emotional level, what does that feel like? Just on an emotional level. If you had to walk out of your house into the regular smegular world in female clothing, what would happen to your emotional and mental state? And I just want to quit.
I wouldn't do it. You know, I wouldn't like it. That's not something that I yearn to do. You know, wouldn't. There's nothing that they could have done that would have made me put that clothing on. You know, like I would have just got my ass whooped. And I got my ass whooped plenty of times for less. So, you know, I would have got my ass whooped.
Now, park the train right there. You would get your ass whooped because nothing in your natural self can remotely reason with such a expression of yourself. Going out as dressed in woman's clothing is so disturbing to you that you would prefer to be on punishment, to be cussed out, to be brutally whooped, even murdered by your parents before you would even dare do such a thing. So this, I would imagine, would be the experience of a trans child who can't be trans, just period. Like not trans part-time, not trans in my room alone by myself, not trans only amongst those who love me.
I said that she or he should wear the clothing under the parent's supervision, you know, and then once they become grown, go ahead and do what they're gonna do then, you know.
Now, when you say,
I mean, some things you got to wait for till you grown. Like, okay, with you 12 or 11 years old, and you've been looking at little Playboy magazines, and you want to get it on, you know, because you've been looking at this stuff, you've been looking at Pornhub, you know, you want to get it on, but you 11, 12 years old. And am I as a parent supposed to be like, well, you yearning so much for this, go ahead and let you do this? Or am I supposed to say, hey, I'm gonna give you information on this and you're gonna have to wait till you're grown? This is something you need to be doing when you're grown. This is grown conversation. You're not grown yet.
But the only thing about that is transgenderism isn't a sexuality. You know what I'm saying? A boy and want to be a girl, but that doesn't have anything to do with you being gay.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some transgender people who change their genders that are not gay.
Yeah.
So it's two. You guys say, is this both include gender, or is it a transgender and a gay? Like there's two.
And I don't really understand why transgender are part of LGBT, to be honest, because
T is transgender.
yeah, T is transgender, but why is it an LGBT? Because it doesn't have anything to do with sexuality.
oh, that's easy.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It's not a
perfect sense.
So
It's a
what
part
we're saying is that like if somebody is transgender, that doesn't, if a boy is like, I'm a girl, that doesn't mean that she is automatically attracted to men.
To men, yeah.
That doesn't mean that necessarily.
No.
Right.
Sometimes if she's still attracted to, you know, he or she.
Because I've seen a pregnant man.
So that's a
Which
whole
was
nother
transgender, but he
yeah.
his wife turned into a man.
Yeah.
And he turned into a female.
Yeah.
She became pregnant, but she's straight. That's her. You know, they just both switched genders. He had, and she kept. Well, he got her pregnant. Well, and then yeah.
Okay.
So he was straight. They were straight. They were straight for each other, but they were both transgender.
Mm-hmm,
so you're right. You could be straight and transgender. You know, off of that.
Now, this is why I said that this is a complicated, like this is a very complex issue, because oftentimes people do associate gender identity with sexual orientation per se. You can have a woman transition into a guy and still maintain her hetero attraction to men. And then you can have a male transition into a woman and him still maintain his attraction to the opposite sex. So the two are not mutually exclusive per se. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? This is a big conversation that I want to. So this is what I want to ask you guys, right? Because a lot of the what we're really talking about here, the root of this issue, and why we're confused and conflicted, is because we can't collectively agree on the self-awareness of children. Now, from my perspective, I don't see children as a monolith any more than I see adults as a monolith, meaning that I was a very mature, young person, very mature for my age. I mean, if we're going to keep it all the way real, in the Black community, I find it so funny that we're talking about age and what's too young and too young, but we all know people who leave their 9-year-old in charge of the 3 and 4-year-old while mommy is at work. We all know niggas who putting major big boy and big girl responsibility on children who ain't even reached 14 yet. So we know damn well that children can be extremely self-aware, can be extremely responsible, and that children can have different degrees of awarenesses. Now, some of us may have some dumbass kids, so we're thinking that everybody else got dumbass, unaware, unconscious ass kids. So we're like, no, there's no way I'm going to let my unconscious kid transition. But all children are not made equal. Like me, I was a very aware young man. My younger brother, you wouldn't have put a number 2 pencil in his hand, okay? You could have put a machine gun in my hand. I would have did well, because we were at different levels of awareness. Now, this is what I think it's important to remember about Zaya, is that Zaya, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle can allow Zaya to transition. Now, we all agree that the surgery, everybody agrees, no surgery. I think even Gabrielle and Dwayne agree that they're not doing no damn surgeries until Zaya can make that decision for herself later on in life. Now, is there an issue with Zaya being able to show up simply in female aesthetic? No surgery, no hormone, just simply being female presenting. That means clothes, hairstyle, lip gloss, whatever girls do, however girls look, however girls carry themselves, is what Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle are allowing Zaya to do. How do you feel about that? I mean, because
I'm just like, if you're willing to do that, then you know you'll be smart enough to figure out if it's a phase or not. You know, granted, you know, I have a 3-year-old, and I don't have the consciousness of what it's like to have a 12-year-old. You know what I'm saying, or how young that is. So, but the way I see it now, I mean, the world is fucking changing. But there's a term I heard about. It might it's a kind of a terse word, but it's a concept called transgenders, and I heard it from like a teenager, and this is basically people who are just, you know, it's like a fad to them, and maybe someone not with the transgender people, but definitely with the not even necessarily singling out as person like you, Davion, because you know you are who you are, but you know, are 100 genders.
Spirit, I think your phone is experiencing secondhand contact. It's breaking up. It's your phone is raising its vibration. It's no, you're still breaking up. Your phone is trapped between dimensions. You're cooking a good ganja.
Okay.
Are you there in spirit? Are you there in flesh? You're still missing.
Come on, Holy Spirit.
Okay, I can see your spirit.
Maybe I should go inside.
Okay, so spirit is transitioning right now himself. We want to support him as a Black community and transitioning from the backyard to the living room. You see, it's okay to transition, you people.
I'm screaming. Wow.
Is this better?
That is way better.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna get
Now,
some food.
now, can you? The people got very curious and stimulated by the term transgender. Can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, just kind of people that are kind of like putting on by this new thing, this fad that, you know, oh, there's a different way to be. Oh, I'm no longer a man. I'm a, you know, feminine woman, pretend, you know, feminine, sometimes non-binary, whatever I want to be. You know, and if it's that, then they will present as that at some point, and they will have the choice to show up as that.
Can I ask you a question?
Phase, it's a phase.
If that is the case in reference to seeing if it's a phase, because like I said, I'm being more open-minded and trying to understand other people's perspective in reference to just trying to make sure that's what you really want to do. Do you think that you would have...
Sorry, you went out.
Oh, can you hear me?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Project Bubs to God like you do over those men's penises. Project.
Just like you're doing right now, of course. Hold on one second.
Atom activated.
Shut up, bitch. What I had said was, I feel like I'm about to forget my thought. It's about to irritate myself. Okay, no, here it is.
Okay, no. Like seriously, the volume level is a little low on your end.
A little low.
Yeah, just a little bit.
This thing's going on. Hold on, y'all. Can y'all hear me better?
Yes, you sound much clearer.
Much clearer. Okay, I'm trying to find something. Hold this.
This spirit, this microphone got a damn spirit. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. No, I was saying, I understand what you're saying in reference to just making sure that you want your child to be sure about what they're doing, because it's irreversible. But do you think that you would have the patience to be able to actually go through the process with your child to see if that's a phase or not?
This is, I mean,
even though and let them be open and say, okay, well, even though we haven't got the reassignment surgery, if you want me to call you, let's just say Christina or something. Okay, I'm going to call you Christina in front of everybody, in front of family members, in front of friends. If we go to church, oh, this is Christina. Let Christina dress up the way that Christina wants to be represented.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's two parts. There's two parts to this. Two opinions. Mm-hmm. There's the overlying opinion of, all right, let's be socially conscious and let's say everything nice, and then there's the actual real bones. Okay, my boy's a girl now. So it's like I'm gonna be like at certain points I'm gonna be like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a boy, like you have a dick, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, blah blah blah, you know. And that's because this is who I am. And hello,
Yeah, we
you
get
there?
it.
Yeah. So, I will always support my child, but there will be times of deep frustration, and I would hope and pray that my child would not be transgender because of the problems and because of the fucking. I mean, here's the thing about Boosie. Okay, I understand the whole like the whole it's worse to be a thug than it is transgender. So why is it that? And this is it's terrible to say it like this, but there is a pathway for thugs. There's a world out here for thugs, but we don't. There is no world for transgenders. I mean, meaning we don't know. It hasn't been. That's not a pathway that has been beaten down for us to travel down. And what I and because a lot of transgender people, from what I understand, are turned into prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of sex work in the transgender community, unfortunately, because they can't get fucking regular jobs.
But do you know the reason why a lot of them would have to resort to sex work?
Yes, because they can't get regular jobs. Because
exactly. So it's like we know these things, but yet we don't want to really have those conversations to really talk about those things. And the thing about, like you were saying, it would be nice if it was in like a different type of beautiful ass alternative type of world. But in the reality we live in, you know, it's dangerous for a lot of trans women, especially trans women of color who are dying at at alarming ass rates, like just dropping. And those are just the ones that we know of. There are still some that we don't know of. But it's like they are here too. They have a world to experience as well. And there's a possibility that your child may be transgender because nobody is exempt from anything. And one thing I'm realizing, especially with being spiritual and dealing with energy and stuff like that, and especially for those of the individuals that are in Patreon that is checking out the whole damn chapter review of A New Earth, there was something in that book that really resonated with me. And it said, what you resist persists. And it's crazy how a lot of people who are very, very homophobic or have that type of fear, because they're dealing with that energy, a lot of times they attract that type of attention. So, like, for example, my father, I grew up in a very religious household. I mean, church all the time. Sunday.
Me too.
Praise team. We heard.
That's how
when I was in it.
We used to go to church together. That's me too. That's how me and him met. Like we've been friends for almost 25 years. We met at the church.
See how God work. God work in mysterious ways. Boom. But exactly. And that's a lot of people's experiences, especially people who are a gay part of the community. And my father was very, very, very stern, like, hey. And I remember one time there was something that happened that kind of gave the illusion that I was gay, even though I knew I was at a young age. I knew I was. But when I saw how the world treated people like me, and I fully didn't understand myself at that time, because I was still trying to figure everything out, because there was nothing in the world that I could gravitate to try to understand, okay, what's going on. And what's happening is that there's a lot of trans people out there, even younger, just like Zaya, who
there should be
Davion mentioned earlier, as far as being conscious enough to be able to make that decision for themselves. And that's the case for some children. So it's like in a world where anything is possible, people have to realize that as well. But I think it's really dealing with the fear. And that's the one thing people don't talk about. And that's why I really appreciate your opinion. I really do appreciate you being part of this conversation, because you are first of all, let me just take the time out to just thank you for being secure in who you are, first of all. Securing who you are to be able to have these conversations, especially with two LGBT, same gender loving individuals like Davion and myself. We don't have a lot of that, and we need more of that. So I appreciate you for that conversation, but you're actually giving us an opportunity and a segue to have these conversations that a lot of Black heterosexual men are afraid to have. They're afraid to have these conversations. They're afraid to talk about these things. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you for that. And I'm getting so much insight from this, and it's helping me to have more empathy for people who are ignorant to certain things. You know what I mean? First of all, in reference to this whole trans thing, I can't even sit here and really give my full opinion as if though it's fact, because for one, I'm not a trans individual.
Right.
That's me disrespecting trans people for me trying to speak on their experiences. Because if we're gonna sit here and do that, then black people do not get mad if white people can sit here and speak their own experiences about black people then. Because if you really want to take it to a deeper perspective, that's exactly what's going on here. We are doing what the oppressor has done to us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it's like, we know this, so why the fuck are we not changing it? And that's why I'm saying, and especially for those of y'all, please check out my video. I cuss a lot. I'm just letting you know right now. But I'm speaking a lot of facts and a lot of truth in my shit. The one thing that irritates me, we'll get back to the conversation. I'm sorry, Davion. One thing that kind of irritates me is the fact that, listen, y'all, let's stop saying this whole gay agenda shit is doing something to our children when we can clearly see the facts of what's happening to our black kids. They're out here killing each other. But when we talk about that, we get upset and feel some type of way because it's like now we have to take responsibility. And here's the one thing about life, and it sucks, but guess what? We are not responsible for what happens to us, but we are responsible for the cleanup of what happened to us. And it may not be fair, but that's where you find your power. Find your power. And by having these conversations, we find the power, and we have to start being vulnerable with each other, especially black men. We have to start loving each other more. Here's the thing, though, bro. The only thing when it comes
down to jump in.
Point blank period.
I need to be able to jump in.
You are physically and sexually attracted to the same sex. Point blank period. You can hug your bro and say, I love you. You can hug your father and say, I love you. You can do all these things. They don't have to be gay. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm sorry. Go ahead, y'all.
That's an
hold on. Can I be heard? Can I be heard? Can I be fucking heard?
Y'all go ahead and get some more water. My mouth dry in the bitch. Damn.
Huh?
Countries in Africa, like I remember, like I went to Germany and I was around African men.
Hold on, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just talking.
Hold on, wait. I need to say something before y'all start jumping on other shit because I have things that I've been storing up.
I went to Germany.
Okay, you're going to go to quiet while I insert my opinion.
Bubs. Okay. All right.
Right. Okay. Now, you said something very interesting. We're talking about protecting the children from homophobes, right? See, here's my issue with the world, with adults being afraid for their children. Yeah, that fear is real because people out here dying because of ignorance. But that's our incentive to change the world, not to prevent homosexuals from not coming into the world. The remedy is not to prevent trans children from being born, it's to change the hate, the ignorance, the small-mindedness, the divisiveness, the cruelty, the control, the maniacal spirit of dictatorship that rules this world. Because what we're doing when we say, I would rather not have a child than to have a gay one or a trans one so that nothing happens to my child, is we are enabling homophobes to be in full control of the world. We are allowing ignorant motherfuckers to be completely in control of society. So are we really, if on one hand we don't have trans and gay children in order to protect the children, we're continuing to fill the world in with people who are hateful and dumb and ignorant, right?
Yeah, but no, I agree. And my thing is, one of my things is, I feel as though like we should have society, well, not societies, but just educate more education, more facilities of education where there are people who you could. I think for some reason I heard of there were institutions that you could go to if you were a part of the LGBT community where you can go and you can learn about other LGBTs and you could be around other people that were gay. You know what I'm saying? It was more for the gender non-binary community. Just there should be some more programs like that. More education for the masses.
So you was gonna tell us about Germany. What happened in Germany?
Oh yeah, I was just saying he was talking. What happened to Bubs?
He went to get some water.
Oh, I need to get some water.
Yeah.
Well, just
Man, you make me want to be high. Like that high looks like it is relaxing into your being. Like it is just found a nice comfy spot over your soul, and it is just getting this whole life in your soul with you.
It's CBD, bro.
Does it feel good? How does it feel?
Good. It's good. It's nice and relaxing.
Can y'all hear me real quick?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just want to say this part.
Yeah,
real
you
quick.
better
Just said
only
something
hear
really
you.
good about weed real quick. I'm gonna come back in the thing, but I just say this real quick. Listen, I understand that this is put together, and this is some kind of low key Section 8 hood YouTube.
Just being done over. I'm deleting this when it's over.
It's
Like,
kind of on that tip.
I mean,
And I understand that somebody
Delete.
said, listen, but I understand that somebody said that they would prefer for us not to get high before this. And I understand because usually with Conscious TV, y'all used to order and construct and all this stuff. But this is something that we just trying out, so we having fun.
No, we not trying a goddamn thing out. It was not. I did not agree to have high ass people talking about some deep, complicated shit. That's something y'all are trying out. I came here to have a university level ass, diploma hat backwards ass conversation about these things. Okay.
this is not a topic
First
that I'm.
of all, nigga, hold on. Wait a
I
minute.
mean, I wouldn't.
No, second of all, nigga, you hold on. Okay.
You know how I am, first of all.
Giving,
So how
and
you
that's what the
doing these
juice
damn
is
book reviews
giving.
and everything, okay?
So I wanted to talk about my German experience.
Yeah,
So
man, I'm talking about German experience scholastically. Go ahead,
I
Spirit.
found it interesting. I
Praise the
went to Germany and like I was like hanging around like Africans, and they have like a different sense of like personal space. And like I remember I was sitting on a stage with my legs open, and there was one of the guys who was like sitting, and he had his hands on my knees, and I was like, I mean, it felt odd, but I was like, oh, this is culture. This is how they do. You know what I'm saying?
It was so nice and loving.
It was like I'm an African American. You know what I mean? It wasn't nice. I wouldn't say it was noticeable, but I could see it being nice. You know what I'm saying? If that was culture, I could see it being cool. If like, you know what I mean, like motherfuckers, you know what I mean, stiff all the time and shit. You know, as friends. You know, I do feel as though men should be more like embracive of other men and it still be cool. Masculine motherfuckers could still be masculine, and you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Like I did see a motherfucker wear a dress the other day. And granted, I definitely got that he was gay, but the way he wore the dress, I was like, oh, I could probably rock that shit.
But here's the thing that's so funny about that though.
There's somebody to say some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
But there's something so funny about that though, because where I work at, I'm sorry, I ain't cut you off, did I?
Nah,
Yes, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. So where I work at a suit store, so I'm used to dealing with fitting people and stuff like that. And a lot of the suits in where the store I work at, a lot of the clothing is more that European slim fit type of look, so it's really tight. And I would have people come into my store, and a lot of my clientele are Black people, and they are individuals who are in organized religion and stuff like that. And a lot of the comments that they'll make about anything that's tight on them is, oh, I don't like that skinny shit. It's like that gay shit. You know what I mean? That gay shit. But I'm sitting like, nah, I know before your ass was a pastor, nigga, you was a pimp. And I'm pretty sure you was sitting here looking like Superfly New Orleans style with this tight shit, had the nut shit on the side, all that stuff. And what's so funny is that a lot of the old school music that we love, a lot of these niggas was dressing like bitches.
Yeah.
A lot of them was. Like, for example, I love old school music. One of my favorite songs is Always and Forever by Heatwave. Oh, that's a beautiful ass goddamn song. And rest in peace to the lead singer who sung that song. But here's the thing. If you look that up on YouTube right now and they performing that shit, I think it's on the Soul Train, they got the tightest, gayest shit on. I'm like,
yeah, that's
how niggas was rocking that shit back in the day.
Even basketball.
But it's like, no, nigga, the reason why you in this damn suit store saying the shit you saying is because your fat ass Done ate too damn much, and now your damn back and ass crack. You don't know where it begins. You got the SpongeBob effect going on right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't fit it, but I'm pretty sure when you was younger you did. So it's like now we're seeing these same type of tight ass fashions coming back into play. And it's really like if you're confident within yourself and you know who you are, you can fully rock that and really step in that and walk in that. But somebody got to do it. So it's like, why does it have to become sensationalized or, oh my God, that's the hot thing for everybody to wear it? And to be honest, it's kind of like the thing right now, especially with the whole trap music and stuff, with Lil Uzi Vert and all them, they all dressing like that right now. And you got niggas that's wearing fanny packs and all that type of stuff now, and all type of feminine type of things, and individuals still say it's an agenda. So it's kind of like there are people that's putting it out there, but I feel like a lot of people, once again, are being resistant to it. They don't want to really accept what's going on. That's just how I feel about it. I'm sorry, Davion.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you got the super
I'm retitling this video as hot ass conversations about nothing with niggas. Do we agree?
Oh my God.
Nah. Spirit, you are a very fascinating,
Just amazing.
Black man.
Imagine if I made it right.
Who's getting
Okay,
on,
a fascinating black.
who's getting on my last motherfucking nerve?
I'm sitting here present, listening to the conversation.
Now, Spirit,
Yeah.
can you, first of all, is it possible for you to change your name in the font from Spirit to heterosexual man? Because I want people to really understand that this is the reason why I brought you on. It was for your sexual orientation purely.
Right.
Okay. So I will giving him a minute to do that. BUBZDAGAWD.
Yes. Oh, my hood shit kicking in. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry about that.
I'm definitely deleting this shit. Can you guys hear me? I'm deleting it. Okay. So this conversation has been so unhinged that all of the intellectual, information, points, thoughts, they have left me. They've left me. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here anymore. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I'm following the flow of conversations. We have people who are waiting to call in on this show.
No.
I feel like Spirit's doing something to generate some conversation.
Oh no. Call in. Call in where? Call into the crisis hotline to report these niggas? Call in where? Call the feds? Call in where? All of the criminal activity that's played out in this whole goddamn life? What are they gonna call into who?
Must have been nasty. Like their houses wasn't clean. Like if you had a lot of
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's Spirit.
Yeah.
See, this is why you're part of my circle. Spirit, cis, hetero male. Look at how mother freaking woke. Like, how did you know to do that? How did you know to do that? You are speaking diploma language. How did you know to do that?
I have.
That was a diploma-oriented action. How did you know to do that? Your mother raised you well. No. We're going to have a moment of silence for Spirit. What hetero, black, hood-ass, ganja-smoking, burnt, fried chicken-eating, grubbing, slobbing ass, Negro nose rocking.
This is Bob.
For real?
This is Bob.
Okay. What you tell me? What? Who you know?
That's good.
What? This type of Negro shouldn't even be able to spell this hetero, yet to learn.
You did this.
Be conscious and aware enough to type it into the chat. I taught him, okay? I taught him to put hetero. He went all out. Spirit. Cis hetero.
Mm-hmm.
My wig cap is blown.
And
Bubs.
we have him
No, Bubs.
right now.
Bubs.
to ask
No, Bubs. Address it. Spirit, cis, hetero. No. Explain. Explain how did he know to do that?
You asking me?
Yes.
Oh,
How you know to do that?
Now you want me to speak? Okay.
Yes, now.
Like I just said, we have somebody who is comfortable with who he is. We have someone who is willing to try to understand. Bless you.
Thank you.
I hope that bitch that was in your throat is gone now. God bless you. Praise God.
Now, a lot of people are scared in the chat. A lot of my subscribers feel like, what in the hell has happened tonight? You guys smoking weed, being 20 minutes off time, needing to hang your phone from the ceiling fan, needing to go to the balcony, needing to go check the goddamn transmission, all fucked up my vibe, fucked up my flow, and now I am crazy and manic along with you all. So now we're just gonna let this be a train wreck of a conversation until I get to do a goddamn do-over and proper due diligence, okay? That's what's going to happen.
First of all, the phone conversation we're gonna have after this live is gonna be somewhat serious. I'm just gonna let you know right now. Because I want to say something, but I ain't gonna say it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, Spirit, you are a black man. What events in your life led you to be what happened? What made you okay with gay people? What made you okay with diversity? What made you okay? Like because you are an anomaly. You don't understand. You are even Rick Company. Rick Company is an anomaly. The black community does not produce intelligent, sensible black men like you all. So how does the ability to be grounded?
Somebody disagrees with you.
Huh?
Somebody disagrees.
Who disagrees in the background?
I'm just gonna walk away.
Shoot. No. Oh.
Who disagrees?
Okay. She'll. I will get a message from her. She's about to go. She'll be right back.
Okay, because as a queer man, a queer black man, okay, we have been raised in some very sterile, rough-ass environments amongst black men who might have been intelligent, but otherwise chose to be ignorant and abusive to us, who might have been talented, but chose to be ignorant and discriminative towards us, who might have been great best friends and fathers and everything else to everyone else, but showed us the shittiest aspects of who they are, okay? So when I'm speaking as a black queer man about you being an anomaly, I am speaking from my personal experience because you are just
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm me. I don't know how to tell you what you know, but I will say that my people in my family are gay. So I kind of had to understand at an early age. So I was always empathetic. It just it doesn't mean because of actually I will say that just because they're people in my family doesn't mean that I had to accept them. Actually, now that I would say that. So I can't tell you what made me gravitate to them because we were all raised in the church, and even when I found out.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just saying. Hold on one second.
I was raised in the church, and even when I found out, you know what I'm saying, it was never a problem. Now that I think about it, maybe it was just something in my heart. You know.
Okay, so you are saying that it's due to empathy. You just retained empathy and you didn't become out of touch with that at any point.
Right.
So, because I'm trying to get you to give other Black men some insight who are being bombarded with religious idea, toxic masculinity, all of these standards, all of these strong ideas around manhood and boyhood and what's a man and what's not a man, what a man are to do, but it didn't quite work on you. You retained individualism. You retained a sense of critical thinking and rationale and groundedness. And I need you to explain the inside workings of how the fuck you avoided being conditioned to be a plum little Boosie fool. I mean, you had empathy, so we can check that off of the list. You just maintain.
You could, if you were really a man, and if you were really a masculine person, you can be a man and not be what you think of being a man is. So I will say that a lot of our masculinity, a lot of our ways of being, I feel as though comes from the American archetype of what a strong man is to be. We're very emotionless, very hard, very stern, very obtuse, or not even obtuse, but just walk softly, carry a big stick type stuff. I feel as though this is just an idea. I feel as though that demeanor comes from Marcus Aurelius's writings on Stoicism. But we kind of got it fucked up. Marcus Aurelius talks about to be that way, but to be unmoved by the tribulations of life, because you always understand that you'll be taken care of, that you are fine. Be stoic. Don't be explosive of emotion. Don't be too high. Don't be too low. Just always kind of be, even keel of things. And that's the way it was. It's not like we read this in high school. It's just like we just understood the outside of that idea, and what I'm saying, and never to really think about our emotions and process them and things of that nature. But that's, like I said, that's just a theory of mine. But I was going back to be a man and to be masculine. You could wear a fucking dress and still knock a nigga out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm fucking cold. Remember that time, Davion? I was like, Davion, you are a whole nigga.
Can you tell these niggas that I'm a whole nigga? Can you tell them that I'm a whole nigga? Like, tell them about the whole nigganess.
Yeah, he was like, it was just funny, like, because we were just talking about somebody was stepping to you or whatever, and you was like, number one, I'm carrying. Number one, let's not forget that.
All day, every day, strapped. They know it. Period.
Just how motherfuckers test you or whatever, But I'm not necessarily. Yeah. These beans are busting. My homegirl made. Oh my god. Yeah. So and not only can you be masculine, but also defending people's rights to exist doesn't also mean that you're gay. I hate that fucking argument. Like, every time you insert yourself into an argument as a heterosexual male, it's all like, oh, you got something to hide. Or like, you know what I mean? Nah, no, it's just, no. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
But see, this is why I brought him on. So for your
Yeah.
homegirl who disagreed in the back of the club, in the back of the sanctuary, okay? See, this is what happens when it's a DB and S conversation going on, and a F finds their way in, okay? Like you need to mind your business, okay? Okay.
I know. I'm talking about my people. She will be back. We'll be in
Uh-huh.
Oh Lord, please don't let it be no damn bullshit.
Everybody don't need to be smoking, okay? When you're already low vibrating, and then your eye drop, baby. Things happen. Now.
So we actually should wrap it up a little bit. I apologize because we've been on for.
We've been on and we accomplished nothing. You are more than welcome.
Hey man. Hey.
No.
Like
This was not a Conscious TV production.
Layers.
This was a Mona Scott Young production, okay?
Layers, man.
My check will be deposited tonight.
Layers. Okay. Layers.
I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do.
I'll answer questions.
The person who's wrapping it up is the person who delayed the live to begin with.
I delayed a lot.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. I was on time.
I told you that being high was going to be a shit show because this conversation was too multi-layered. And it's too.
Bubs is high.
You weren't talking to me.
You didn't, and then you didn't tell me not to be high.
I didn't know what the high you was, but now I know not to tell you to be high after this live.
CBD, man.
I'm
CBD.
good with mine.
I'm having a great time. This is a great time.
No, it's not. Okay,
I'm sorry.
Hold on, wait. Let's talk to the chat. Chat, did you come in and learn anything that you already didn't know before you came into this chat? Okay, what did you take? Spirit Cis Hetero said that this was a great show. Did you guys become enlightened? Okay, Coco J B says hell to the Nizar, to the no, to the Nizar, no. Okay, Truth Taylor 0909 said hell to the motherfucking Noah. Okay, Christopher Chipper said yes. Pink Flame says I am so confused. Okay. Astron Forbes says, not really. Catherine Paul said, of course not. Street Committee Perkins said, nope.
NY Peep says, Spirit is educated. Dina Jersey Queen said, well, I enjoyed it myself.
Thank you.
Kendra said, same, Dina. It's some people that liked it.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
They enjoyed themselves. I asked them, did they learn anything? See, my intention was for this to be a learning environment.
Someone says
I wanted.
Let me ask, so I guess they learned something if he's educated.
What did they expect? Let's take some questions from them. What did they expect to learn?
Okay, well, since this is a Conscious TV production, they expect to walk on water. They expected to be able to raise the dead. They expected to be able to walk away feeling like God's voice had spoken to them and had stimulated their minds. They expected to walk away educated. They expected to walk away, okay, with a crisp understanding of very complex things that are being dumbed down by a very dumb, low vibrating society who is governing the conversations around things they don't motherfucking understand. So, okay.
About the topic, so I'm not
Spirit.
I'm just a.
I love you.
I know very few. I know one transgender woman, personally.
Oh, okay.
And that's not it. I don't have any credentials. I'm just a regular tattoo artist. Well, I'm not, excuse me. Not just a regular tattoo artist. I'm just a regular guy that happens to be a great tattoo artist.
Right. Now, where is Spirit? Is he in the spirit world?
Oh, right, I'm back.
Oh, okay. Do you need to hold on? Before we, do you need to go, Spirit? I do appreciate your time tonight.
Instead of an hour and a half, you did say there was going to be 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Okay.
You know.
I will be in Tuesday, so you can tattoo my neck and my chest and upset my fan.
I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Huh?
I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Is Wednesday? So Wednesday I can come in to get my artwork drawn up?
I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Oh, you're off. Okay, so I come in tomorrow. Am I high? So I can come in Monday, right?
Yeah, you can come in tomorrow.
What time you go in?
11.
Do you want to put out your information and let the people know where you are, what you do, and where they can find your services? Because you are a very talented cis hetero male.
Yeah, you guys can get tattooed at Tattoo Trillionaires by Tattoo Spirit. You can catch me on Instagram at it's literally just Tattoos by Spirit, everything spelled correctly. Tattoos by Spirit on Instagram, and then tattoosbyspirit.com.
If a bunch of big bottom Detroit gay men are jumping in your inbox, don't be surprised and blame it on my heart, not my head. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, well, we love you very much. We're going to let you go tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right, it's nice meeting you. It's nice meeting you, Doug.
Oh, it's nice meeting you too, man. Finally, yep.
Cool. Have a good night.
Okay. Bye, Spirit.
Bye.
Oh, bitch.
You was not about to do anything to me. I fulfilled my part of the shit.
I'm
supposed to do.
After 12 o'clock tonight, I am done being friends with the both of you. 12 o'clock midnight is the remainder of our those are the remaining minutes on your Conscious TV friendship plan. They expire tonight. Okay.
You look like a witch that's getting ready to teach head blowjob techniques to the microphone. Let me tell you something. We here and you Conscious TV, we waiting on you to give us the knowledge.
Waiting. I had high ass niggas speaking at 140 miles an hour, not even being able to hear me talking to a professional mic. I had to do damn sign language just to get you all the attention.
I already made a video.
I had to do certified sign language just to get you all to shut the hell up. I told you not to be smoking that goddamn crack cocaine on my live so that we could educate the darn people.
Fool! Where Craig at? Craig? Oh, he in the house. I'm sorry.
Let's speak to Kenneth, okay? Kenneth, it is okay. Kenneth, Kentiff, okay? It's okay if you got disappointed tonight. This won't be the first disappointment. And I guarantee you, if you live to wake up in tomorrow, it won't be the goddamn last, okay? You got a free service tonight that you didn't pay for, okay? Boost Mobile gave you a motherfucking do-over with that data plan, baby, okay? And it's okay that you got up in to get you some free line and you didn't quite get what was on the menu. You're not the only person walking away disappointed, because I'm going to walk away without 2 friends after this live ends as well, okay? Okay? Oh, okay, sugar? Huh? You okay? Can you all give Kenneth a round of applause in the chat? Kenneth said, how can you be conscious and treating people like this though? Treating people like what, Kenneth? I stole an hour and a half worth of your time because you had nothing else to do anyway.
Nah.
So how did you get treated tonight? How, sir? Do you have such a relationship to me that your heart would afford you to experience heartbreak on this level? He's mad. Big mad.
Oh, Lord.
As a conscious person, one shouldn't assume. Okay, Kentith. In other words, I will see you in the next video. I want Kentith to relax. I want your mind to stop racing. I want you to become perfectly still. I want you to quiet all of the voices going on right now. And I want you to just relax. To the sound of my voice, I want you to hit exit out of the stream. Let my voice guide your finger to the exit out of the stream option. To the sound of my voice.
They asking for you to bring Conscious TV voice back. People in the chat, can you please help me nickname this voice? Because I feel like this ain't gonna be the last time we hear this damn voice.
I am upset. Do you guys know what I went through? I had to beat the hell out of this face, fry the hell out of this hair. I had to set up and keep you high, drugged out ass niggas on a tight schedule to make sure that you even got here on the stream, okay? And you still ended up late, manic, and crazy.
I was all good.
And now you're looking at me like I'm the issue. Like I'm the issue. You got people I don't even know feeling disrespected, heartbroken, rolling in the goddamn deep. We're going to do a big do-over, you guys. And guess what? It's going to be me, thank God. Alone, thank God. Speaking, thank God. No co-pilots, thank God. I'm the only licensed driver going to be in the motherfucking car, okay?
Can you do me a favor?
Here, I see BUBZDAGAWD again. No, Spirit the Tattoo Artist.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
In that same voice, can you just say "Holy moly donut shop" real quick?
I'm going to say, tell the people
goodbye, y'all. Davion about to put me in a box in the ground for a few weeks, so I'm not gonna be able to see y'all. I love y'all. I'm about to be messed up. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I love you guys. I don't know what else to say. That's how confused I am. So I'm just going to let my own voice guide my finger to the end broadcast button. Here I am, moving the feature over. Okay. I am about to press. Love you guys. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Okay? Bye-bye now.